These are the 3 skills that you need to develop if you want to have a successful personal brand and you want to develop a coaching business off the back of it. But it all starts with having a personal brand. So I'm going to be breaking down the 3 things that you need to have. If you don't have these, then you need to focus on them first before you start the personal brand, because you're really going to struggle. These are absolutely essential. The first one is oration. You have to have great speaking abilities. You have to be able to sit down and confidently speak to a camera. You have to be able to speak without like you can't be choppy. You can't be thinking about what you have to say. You have to be very fluent in your communicative abilities. You have to be able to communicate your ideas very clearly and concisely in ways that people will understand. You have to be able to break down big topics and make them very easy for people to understand. You have to be able to compare them to different things. You have to think of great analogies. This is what is required of you if you want to be someone who cultivates an audience. You have to be a great speaker. There is no way around it. There is no substitute for it. You have to have great tonality. You have to be able to speak in a way that is influential and persuasive to the masses. If I were to sit here and talk like this and be boring, no one would watch my channel. I have to have that spark. I have to have that communicative spark that makes people interested. It wants them to listen to what I am saying. These are all essential factors in forming an audience. When you have great communicative abilities, you're ahead of 90% of the population. You're genuinely in the top 10% for communication. If you can speak without likes, you can talk clearly and concisely, you can continue on about topics without a video ending and just keep talking and put together all your ideas all in one whilst being organized and controlling everything that you're saying. This is a huge thing. I mean, if you can't do this, you're not going to be able to have success. It's going to take you a long time to produce content. And funny enough, I actually started a personal brand at 19 on TikTok. It was very similar to the main channel that I have now. I was talking about self-improvement, dating, but it would take me a really, really long time to make my videos. I would have to sit there with my phone and do like 50 takes on TikTok for one video to come out decent. And my tonality just wasn't there. I wasn't confident when speaking on camera. I was really still developing. Honestly, the only way to get better is to do it. So in the end of the day, if you want to do this, just start at whatever starting point you're at and build off of it over time. But you have to be very intentional. You have to be like, I am going to work on this for this next week, this next thing for this next week. Tackle many different things, whether it's tonality, whether it's storytelling, whether it's being able to communicate your ideas clearly and concisely. These are all very, very powerful things that you need to develop. And if you haven't dialed these in, you're going to struggle. It's just that simple. Now, the second thing you need to have dialed in is sales. When I was 18, 19 years old, I took on my first sales job and was absolute shit. I failed miserably, didn't make a single dollar. But I got a mentorship, I read some books on communication, and I came back and I actually broke even in my second job. My third job went on to make about 1 to 2K per week. And then my next successful venture was my Sales Academy business, which made me about 8 to 15K per month. So that is what I did in order to learn sales. It was just taking on many different sales jobs, reading a lot of different books on communication, sales, psychology, influence, a lot of different things that allow me to understand it and be really good at it. So I invested heavily into myself to learn the skill of sales, because back in the day, I cultivated about 6,000 TikTok followers before I decided that this wasn't going anywhere, because I didn't make any money with it. I didn't know what to do with the audience. I had no idea what I was doing. I was absolutely clueless to personal branding. And then I went on and learned sales, and I was able to understand business and come back to personal branding years and years later after previously having started the Sales Academy business being a massive success, and now transition all that knowledge and skill sets between being a business owner, being successful in sales, marketing, and put that into this and have success with it. So you need to learn sales. Sales is absolutely necessary. You need to be the person who can do all the roles in the start of starting a personal brand. You're not going to be able to get a sales rep to do your sales when you only have a couple sales calls coming in. No salesperson is going to take on that gig. So you have to be able to do it yourself, and you have to be able to convert clients. So you need to know sales. If you don't know sales, you're not going to make any money from the people who are interested in your services. You have to be able to persuade and influence them to actually buy it. And now personal branding is a cheat code. It is very easy to make sales from personal branding, as to all the different careers that I've done, like life insurance, mortgages, all that bullshit was difficult. This is easy because people know, like, and trust you, so you have an advantage, but you still need to know sales to some degree if you want to make some money. So that is the next thing that you need to develop. And one more thing is that your content also needs to be selling all the time. You need to be selling the ideas. You need to be selling, for example, with my main channel, lead magnets. You need to know how to incorporate an entire idea. Say it's like a list of 6 things. The first thing you need to, the first item on your list is something, and you got to tie it into the lead magnet to make the lead magnet even more attractive as to why they would want to even pick it up in the first place. You're always selling when you have a personal brand all of the time, so you need to be good at sales. And the last thing, which is absolutely essential, is you need to have a skill set that you actually are good at. So for me, that was dating, masculinity, fitness, solo travel, overcoming my limiting beliefs and fears. And this all kind of ties into the dating niche. And I've taken all my lessons and applied them there. So that is what I teach, is I teach dating, but it has all these lessons from everything that I've learned from sales. Like I just mentioned, all those different other topics, they all go into the dating aspect because I'm really having tons of success with dating. So that was kind of the way that I wanted to go. I could have taken my personal brand in 2 ways. I could have went dating, or I could have went fitness. And I just see way too many people going down the fitness route, not as many in the dating route. And I'm like, dating, it's a big thing that drives me is girls. So I was like, fuck it, we're going with dating. And that is what I did, and I really like talking about this stuff. I feel like there's so much to talk about on this topic in this niche. There's so many different things you can tie into it, like fitness, like all these different aspects that I've mentioned. So that is why I went with dating, but it's something that I already got good at that I also wasn't good at in the past. I was terrible at dating. That's my whole transformation. That's my whole channel. My whole channel is selling the transformation of going from a shy, awkward, insecure kid who struggled with girls to the outgoing, confident man I am now, who solo travels the world, gets girls anywhere he goes. That's the transformation that I sell, and I sell all the steps and things that I did in order to achieve this. That is what I'm teaching. You need to have something that you've accomplished in this life that you can teach. It can be anything, but if you don't have anything to teach, you're not going to make it far. See, that's where I was really held back when I was younger. I wanted to start personal branding. I tried like fitness 2 or 3 times on, I think, TikTok, but I didn't get anywhere. That was the only thing that I had, but I was really bad at just everything combined. I didn't know what to do in order to build a successful personal brand. But that fitness was the only thing I kind of was half good at, so that's what I kind of tried, but I would quit way too soon. Another thing is it takes a long time to build a personal brand. It took me a year to build my main channel up to 7,000 subscribers. So, it's not like these things happen overnight. You have to be consistent and you have to be fully committed. This has to be a skill set that you're genuinely passionate about and that you can talk about on a daily basis. For me, I really, really love creating content. For me, I get to think about all the different lessons that I've learned, tell funny stories, and I know that people are really enjoying the content and learning a lot from it. So it's very fulfilling work for me to do, is sit down and create it. So you have to be able to pick something that's a skill set that you've developed or something you've overcome in your life that others want to do as well. And it's got to be something that you're genuinely passionate about and you can talk about for a long time. Like as I mentioned, it's taken me years or a whole year to cultivate 7,000 YouTube subscribers. So those are the 3 things you need to do. You need to be a good orator. You need to be able to speak really well. You need to be good at sales. And you need to have something you've actually accomplished in this life that you can teach to others. So those are the 3 things you need to do if you want to have a personal brand and build a coaching business off the back of it. That is all for this video. If you want my help to scale your personal brand, you want to start posting online and making money from it, being able to travel the world, then book in a free coaching call with me down below and I'll discuss how it can help you.